Good morning to you both. Let me kick off with you. Just tell us about the attack. What happened? What were the circumstances?
I was traveling home from London on a Saturday evening around 5 o'clock. I have learned a long time ago to leave London early in the day to avoid being attacked. I was reading the paper sitting in a little 4-person compartment, just, you know, enjoying having some private time, and all of a sudden a boot comes flying out of nowhere and kicks the paper out of my hand. Oh my God. A woman, just as I turn to look to see who it is, punches me in the left eye, knocks my contact lens to the floor, and is screaming at me, "You big fat pig. You have no right to be on this train." You know, when you're sitting down and somebody's standing above you, you know, beating into you like that, it's shocking how much damage they can do in 30 seconds.
Now, was she angry, really, about your size? Was that what prompted it? Or it sounds like well, it's a horrific attack, but it sounds like she was angry about herself. You know, there's something going on there, surely? Or would you think that's the sort of reaction that being overweight can provoke?
No, no, obviously this is a very, very unusual situation, obviously, but every word the woman said was fat, bitch, fat, pig, you know, everything started with fat. There were 5 witnesses there, and there was, you know, obviously my size inflamed this particular person.
Should that be a hate crime?
Dreadful story, shouldn't happen to anybody, and there are nasty people out there who will shout at you and abuse you for all kinds of things, whether you're black or small or tall or fat or thin, it doesn't matter, and it's a dreadful thing, and actually it is a crime already to attack somebody on a train. Luckily we have that in place. I don't think that fattism, as we're calling it, should be a hate crime in the same way that racism or homophobia or things like that should be.
Why?
You know, why? Do you know what? Where are you going to take this level to? I'm very thin, yeah, and I actually have had the same sort of, not on that level at all, but I have criticism sometimes. People go, "Oh, you look like you could eat a nice meal, love," type thing, you know.
Does that make you upset, though? Does that upset you in the way that some of the...
Do you know what? It's my choice to look this way. And with being overweight, we have to divide it between people who are genetically going to be overweight. There's nothing they can do. They are obese. There's obesity in the family. And people for whom there is a choice. You can't choose to be black. You can't choose to be gay. You are what you are. But you can choose to change your body size. And so while I abhor what happened to you, I think that's dreadful, I do think that as a society, we have got a responsibility to portray being overweight as something undesirable.
Let's have a quick
only for
response.
health reasons. That's the only reason why.
Let's have
That's
a quick
what you
response.
always say.
Oh, and quite rightly.
Why should it be a hate crime?
Why should it be all right to be unhealthily overweight or underweight?
It should be included. I think obesity should be included with all other physical attributes that would cause a person to violently attack you.
But what? Sorry, and I don't want to in any way sort of upset you, but I suppose the argument Liz is making is that you have a choice about your size. It's something that can be controlled in the way that you don't have a choice about other physical attributes.
We just met about 5 minutes ago, so she doesn't know me. She doesn't know my history. She doesn't know my particular situation.
That's true.
We tend to make snap judgments about people based on, among many other things, their size. Okay, I can look at Liz and say she looks like a runner to me. I could be right, I could be wrong.
You are quite right.
Okay. She could look at me and say she looks like a chronic overeater. She could be right, she could be wrong. But the fact of the matter is we cannot start judging people, their fitness for society.
We don't need to make it a hate crime.
We have to pause you, I'm afraid. But we will continue this discussion a little bit later on, but we're over time, I'm afraid. But thank you very much, Dee, for your contribution.
I think you're going to have views on this, aren't you? I think we
certainly
should get in touch.